Stubborn Steve. Wow, you're so nice. Lavaka God. Wonderful people. Welcome back once again. Can you hear me okay? Lavaka God. Talk about the calm before the storm. Welcome back once again. Can you hear me okay?
What do you play? Steven?
It's not just about Lavaka God. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. How is everybody out there? Just give me a few minutes to set up. Hey, Wade, welcome back. You're the same Wade that called me last night, correct? How are you doing today? Okay, just a few minutes to set up here. I'm just going to be on for about 15, 20 minutes. And as I was saying last night, we'll go back live tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those that do want to call in and chat. If you want to have a quick chat right now as well, we can do that. Paul, welcome. Hello. As I was saying, I have about 20 minutes. We can chat about the latest updates. I want to talk a bit about the most reliable source on Twitter to follow. I will show you his information in a moment. He is, hello, Drygast, welcome. Again, I hope I say your names correctly. It's either Drygast or Drygast. The person I was mentioning on Twitter, he goes by the name of Brian Entin, E-N-T-I-N. He has been at the scene for over a week. His updates are fast. His updates are accurate. I would recommend everybody to check him out on Twitter. It's, let me see his exact, it would be at Brian, B-R-I-A-N, Entin, Entin. That would be his Twitter handle. Definitely go check him out. I will also show you some of his posts, the latest ones. Dragas, pronounced Dregust. All right, Dregust. Thank you. Paul, yeah, let's pray she's alive. That's the only hope we have right now, is that it's all a hoax. That's what I was saying yesterday as well. I am hoping that it's a hoax, as bad as it would be that it's a hoax. That's really the only way she can be alive. Dregust asking, have you gone over their Instagram posts? I was talking to Wade about that yesterday. Wade was mentioning that he has some pretty dark art, shall we say. So he has mentioned that, yes. And again, I'm leery of his mind, but at the same time, she is not exactly 100% either. So it was a very, very toxic, or it is a very, very toxic relationship. If they're still in one, who knows? Paul, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I believe you just did. Thank you for that. If you guys do have time, I would like for you guys to call in and discuss this with me, as I want to hear as many different opinions and people's thoughts as possible. That's basically why we do this. I mean, this is a platform for us to share opinions and thoughts. And as I've noticed last night, there are a bunch of good people on this channel. So I don't mind you guys calling in and voicing your opinion as to what you think is going on. So if you have time, and if you feel not as shy as you should be, call in. The link is in the description, as well as in the pinned message in the chat box. You don't have to go on cam. We just need to have your mic on so I can hear you and we can talk about it. Let me just do one more thing here, and then I see Wade is calling in. Let me quickly add him in now. Wade, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good. So any new update from you that you've heard overnight, or still the same old, same old?
The last thing that we were discussing last night.
Try to get into a clearer area, because you're breaking up big time.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What about now?
It's much better. Yeah. Okay. Try again.
I was up pretty late because we were talking about the YouTube couple that kind of inadvertently captured their van on a video that they were making. Captured Gabby's van at a particular campsite. Are you familiar with that one yet?
I've heard briefly about it, but I haven't heard much about it. But if you want to fill us in, I mean.
Oh, I don't know if there's a whole lot to fill in, but I think that's an area that now the FBI has, or they've kind of blocked it off and searching the area, from what I understand.
Do you think there'll be any new update today? I mean, I can't see them finding him anytime soon.
No, I don't either. And I'm not even sure they're looking in the right place. I feel like Brian's very methodical.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of a distraction from where he really is, but who knows? What do you think?
Well, again, we can only go by what we saw on the body cam. And to me, he just seemed like he was just nonchalant, like no big deal. Crap happens. We got into an argument, nothing really. But he was the one with all the scratches again. I I didn't see any markings on her at all. Did you?
No, someone had mentioned that her eyes looked puffy, almost a little bit swollen, especially I think it was under her right eye in one of her Instagram posts.
Right.
But he did say, or I think she said, that he grabbed my face and pushed me away. He didn't really describe it the same way, which to me, that's pretty aggressive behavior. Even, I think I mentioned on your stream before that I think it was yours, but I've been kind of attacked by a girlfriend before.
Yeah, you
And
told me. Yeah, you told us last night.
my reaction was just to put my arms around her to stop her from hitting me. I never felt any reason to counter her in any way, or to be physical with her in any way other than trying to just keep her arms from hitting me in the face.
Mhm.
But so I just don't think, especially if she's so small, you don't really feel, even if you're getting hit, you don't really feel, just speaking from my personal experience, you don't really feel threatened by the situation. You obviously don't want it to continue, but I just think grabbing someone's face, I couldn't do that to someone that I cared about. So that part concerns me.
But I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. Again, I don't want to get too much information from you about her personal problems or whatever. But was she under? She was under medication, right?
My ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she did. She told me a little bit. So I never knew what medication it was, but obviously she had something going on, whether it was bipolar or what. I never really knew. She did tell me that she'd seen a therapist, and then I started seeing hints of other little things going on. So, and apparently, I see some concerning behavior too with Gabby. So I'm not sure where you're trying to go with that.
No, I'm just saying that I'm trying to figure out what kind of issues Gabby has, because I know people react differently regarding OCD or schizophrenia or bipolar. I don't really know the difference between a schizophrenic and a bipolar disorder.
Yeah, I wouldn't
The-
know either.
yeah, so and again, whichever one she had, even if two different people have the same bipolar issue, we don't know if they also have the same
Sure.
reactions to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's not something. It's not an area I have any experience in.
I mean, I don't see how Brian was so calm in that video. I mean, I know me, if I had troopers or cops pull me over and question what's going on between you and your girl, I would be a lot more nervous because, well, you're in the middle of a highway, and cops are questioning you and your girlfriend. I mean, it's a pretty nerve-wracking experience, I would think, anyway.
Well, and even the officer who most likely has dealt with this similar situation before, he said to Brian, he asked him if he was on anything, on any medication or had been drinking or anything. And then he said, when Brian answered no to those questions, he said, well, you seem a little hyper.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the officer who's trained to look for these clues of behavior, has noticed that there's something not right about the way he's acting.
But then you could turn it over to even ADHD. You see, there could be so many things. I would think that by now the cops would know his medical history or his issues from the past.
What do you think about his behavior?
Again, I just saw it as very, very strange how he was just so in a kind of like in a good mood being questioned by cops, which again, I could only go by how I would feel. And I just don't see it. I just don't know how he could be so calm, cool, and collected about it.
Well, I think most people agree with you. I've heard other people say that he just seemed to be acting oddly, like it just wasn't, like you said, kind of a big deal to him. But so you don't have any idea of why that is or what that might mean?
Again, maybe it's just his demeanor or the way he's been his whole life. I don't know the guy, so as far as even his past history, I know nothing about him.
Yeah. For me,
and again, even not just him, but what about the parents? Again, it's getting more and more unlikely that he went to where they say he went. I think they're looking in the wrong place because they should have found him by now, or at least some article of clothing or anything, but nothing at all after a week and what is it now? 8 days or something like that? 7 days?
Yeah, I am pretty analytical, and I can usually size up situations pretty well. There's some people that can fool me just because they're just so good at it.
Hmm.
And I do tend to try to see the best in people. But with him, I just really get the feeling that he's someone that has trouble sleeping at night because his wheels don't stop turning. His mind is always racing, thinking about, and that's why, like you said, almost, I guess that could be kind of an ADHD type situation where I feel, and even the particular incident that they were talking about that kind of, they said maybe kind of led to when the police pulled them over. Gabby was saying more like, I was wanting to work on my social media. He doesn't think I can do it. And he was wanting, and Brian starts to say something about the social media. Yeah, she was working on the social, and then he stops himself mid sentence, and then he kind of changes what he wanted to say about that. And what I interpreted from that was that Gabby, he was kind of bothering Gabby, like, let's go. We had this other day planned. We're supposed to be out hiking or whatever it was. And she was wanting to stay at the location that they were at where she had service or whatever it was and working on her social media. And I think that kind of plays into my perception of his personality is that he wants to be doing things on the go where she's comfortable just being at peace with and still in the moment.
Do you think people should be more upset at Brian or the parents?
I feel like, what do you think? That's a great question. I feel like in some ways the parents.
Because again, I do not see him being where they said he supposedly said he was going. How do you survive a week where he is at with a backpack? No matter how much food you have in there, I don't think you could fill it up for a week's worth.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that was some sort of diversionary tactic.
Like, what about water?
I don't see him. I just don't see him as the kind of person that is a true survivalist out in nature. I think
Yeah.
in his mind, sure, he likes to go barefooted. He likes to rough it. I think in reality, I just don't see he's young. I don't think he's really experienced the world or had any true adversity outside of maybe his own kind of demons. But I talk about external adversity. I don't see him lasting very long without the assistance of his parents, which is why I think he ended up in their house under the circumstances.
Have you ever heard of a story where somebody goes away for a week with a backpack only, and then somehow survives with that limited amount of food? Is that even possible?
It is, sure, yeah. I think most anyone, other than someone say like Gabby, who she clearly is not able to function on her own. She tells the officers, "I don't want to have to drive too far," and you can just see that she needs some stability and some security around her. And so I don't think emotionally or psychologically that someone like that could do it. But I think someone like Brian, who's a little more steadfast in his beliefs and who he is, I think sure probably pretty easily could last a few days. Without water, that's tough.
Let me quickly add Paul to the stream here. He wants to come on in. Just give me one quick second. Good morning, good afternoon, Paul. How are you?
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, I just had. I usually follow Fox News in America there, and and it's been the headlines there the last 3 or 4 days, and it hasn't moved down like at all. It's been like the top story, and I've just been intrigued by it then when I started reading into it. So, and the more I read into it, the more I'm thinking, why has it been so long that this guy hasn't been just grabbed and arrested? And no matter about your rights or whatever, it's been 19 days. Okay, he's gone missing right now, but why hasn't he been grabbed a few days ago to, get the answers out of him where the hell she is?
But okay, so I'll turn the question to you then. What grounds are you going to charge him with? What?
It's not even a ground to charge him with anything, just to talk to him. Where is she?
You can't. You can't by law in the States. You can't. I agree with you. Of course, I agree with you. But I mean, there's nothing that can prevent them from him having to say anything. He's not charged with anything.
Yeah, and how that's fair enough point, but how his parents even, I know we all look after our own children, but couldn't push them forward. So now he's actually gone missing.
It's been close to, I believe he left on either the 12th or the 13th. So they said he went for hiking. And about 6-7 days ago, and he's still hiking, supposedly, according to the parents.
So, I mean, isn't it really fascinating in the whole story together? What boggles me is how they went on a trip for like so long.
So if anything, I would think that the parents can be charged with obstruction of justice. But the problem is you don't know if they're really telling the truth because they can't find him.
Yes. So, I mean, I guess we're all guessing at the minute and we all want answers, but at the end of the day,
it remains a mystery.
Exactly. And we need to talk. He's the main. At the end of the day, we need to talk to him.
And let me just pull up what the user on the channel said. U.S. Constitution, 5th Amendment, presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. They have nothing to arrest him on. That's the whole problem with the court structure in the States. And Wade, I know you're in the States, so I don't really want to bash your court system, but I mean, I think you kind of agree that it's not exactly up to par.
Well, I'm actually an Irish citizen, but I'm an American citizen.
No, I know your accent. I can tell you're not in the States, but Wade, I was saying Wade. But where are you from, Paul? Or where were you from originally?
I grew up in Ireland, Donegal, and I moved to America when I was 18. I'm actually currently in Italy right now.
Are you whereabouts?
I'm actually in Rome.
Oh, okay. I'm from Venice originally, so.
Oh, you're up north.
Yeah, northern boy. So how's it in Rome right now as far as the restrictions and everything? I know it's a bit off topic, but just curious what's happening over there right now.
The restrictions here right now is if you're going to eat inside a restaurant, you need the green pass, which is like the vaccine. It's like a vaccine passport.
Yeah.
It's like digital. It's actually digital compared to the US, where we have like it's on a card.
Oh, okay.
So, but anytime I show the card, I have no problem sitting down anywhere. But
yeah,
really,
you're gonna need that everywhere around the world.
To get around, I'm actually going to Dublin, Ireland tomorrow afternoon. I think it's the same restrictions there as well to eat inside.
So you're from the Robbie Keane home.
Robbie Keane, yeah, big fan of him over the years. Yeah, he was a good Ireland's top goal scorer over the years. I think he had 53 goals or something like that.
What's happened with Ireland? They're not going to qualify for the World Cup either, are they? They're not doing too well.
Well, actually, we just lost our first. We were 2 goals up against Portugal, and Ronaldo. Well, sorry, 1 goal up, and Ronaldo got 2 goals in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, pre and after the slap to the face there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
that's a story for another day, I guess.
And he's after scoring today again for United. Listen, he's a genius, whatever you want to say about him. So.
Well, I'm a Juve fan, so we had him.
Well, I'm a big fan of Ronaldo, and Juventus was good last year when he was with them. But I mean, going back to the case, listen, let's all hope and pray that.
Definitely.
that this all comes to a good ending, you know.
So for the final thoughts, do you think that there is any chance she is alive? And if so, on what basis are you hoping that this is just a big hoax? Or, I mean, how else can she be alive other than this was just a hoax?
Well, I'm a believer if there's light, there's hope. So as long as we get up in the morning and we all see light, we've hope for the day, isn't it? So there's no point in anybody making judgment because nobody knows. So listen, as long as we don't hear no bad news, let's pray for some good news, you know.
That's a good way to leave it off. Definitely. Yeah, I appreciate you calling in. As I said, I was only going to go for about half an hour or so this morning. I'm going to come back on tonight around 11 p.m. Eastern. If you, for you, that's what, 5 a.m.
Plus 6 hours, yeah.
But yeah, I think you already subscribed to the channel, so you'll get updated when I do go live. And I do appreciate if you want to call back in at any time. If you have a YouTube channel, if you want to give a shout out, you're more than welcome to. I always allow people to do that once they come online. So if you have a channel and you want to give a shout out, go ahead.
I think I'm under Freelster, my last name, but I'm not really big into subscribers, but thank you anyway. Appreciate it.
All right. No worries. And like I said, you can call in at any time I go live, and I would appreciate you calling in.
Hey, God bless from Italy, all right?
All right, man. Forza Italia.
Grazie.
Take care, Paul. Take care. All right, Wade.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. I tried to get you in there, but I mean, he had a lot to say too. So.
Oh no, I in fact, whenever I dialed in, sometimes I just kind of want to sit in the background and just listen to what you have to say.
Of course.
And if I have something to interject, I will.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I was going to say is I'll come back on tonight around 11 p.m. Eastern. If you want to join me at that time, if you have time, you're again more than welcome to call in again.
I probably will, as long as I can remember.
Yeah, if you have time.
Sure.
Because yeah, I would like to have you call in again and chat with you. You're a good guy. So second time you called in, and yeah, you're a good guy.
Yeah, I enjoy the conversation. It's fascinating to me. It's a mystery, and in this time of pandemic, when I'm kind of, I guess for me, it's a little bit easier because I'm somewhat of an introvert. But even more so now, I just don't see the point. I don't get out and go to bars or doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think those days are long gone for a lot of people now.
Yeah, I feel for the people that are extroverts that need that social interaction because they truly do. Just like sometimes I don't want to be in crowds. There are people that need to be in crowds, and I feel for those people through all of this. I know that's got to be hard. But for me to be able to sit on here and have a conversation with people and follow something that's mysterious with a lot of twists and turns, and for us, and I don't know about you, but for me, I mean, it's somewhat of a release, entertainment, or whatever. And I know that's kind of a horrible word to use, but I also realize I'm a very compassionate, empathetic person. I realize this is very real for the people that are experiencing it, and I still feel that pain for them.
Well, to be honest with you, I've always preferred talk radio as opposed to mainstream media because you do get a chance to listen to other people's opinions and comments that call in. And if you want, you can call into the show and voice your opinion as well. I think that's so important, especially nowadays. I mean, everybody has a voice and everybody should be allowed to say what they think and feel without being restricted, and just the ability to do that. I think it's amazing. And that's one of the most important things is freedom of speech.
I feel the same way. I'm glad you feel that way. That makes me more comfortable being here because I've been in channels before where they're blocking people for saying something that's if they're disagreeing, they're kicking people out just because they disagreed with what they had to say. And sometimes people can be a little bit rude or a little bit insensitive in their comments. But again, I prefer to let that flow. There is a point where you do have to draw the line, and even trolls don't bother me. But when people just start getting hateful to the point of where they're attacking people or truly trying to hurt them, then I think there is a point where you have to cut it off. I don't know exactly where that is, but for the most part,
you were on last night. I don't know if you saw I think his name was Black Sheep or something. He was starting to attack other users to calling them stupid and Karen and stuff like that. I mean, I gave him a warning at first, saying, you know what, just be calm down, let them speak their mind. You can say what you want, but don't cut up others like that. And he continued to do it, so that's why I had to ban him. But I mean, generally, I don't mind people, saying they disagree with something, but don't start name calling people. That's just not cool.
Yeah, and well, it's your channel, so you get to set the guidelines. But I feel the same way. Just give them a little bit of leeway, and then
That's it, exactly. Friendly warning, and if you continue, then you're gonna have to pay the price, right? So, yeah. So I'll be back again tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you're more than welcome to call in again. It's just because it's getting to noon, and I do got stuff to do. So I will definitely be back on tonight, and I hope you are going to be able to join as well.
Yeah, I'll try to be here. And just real quick, Drigas made a couple of very interesting comments. I don't know if you caught them. He mentioned one about a post that kind of it sounded like, and I want to find this because that's very interesting to me. I hadn't seen it. That it sounded like maybe Brian was hearing voices or something, and then Drigas.
Let me scroll back here and see where that is. Is it before the Fifth Amendment he was talking about, or?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back here. Oh, here, this one. Brian's past post about how there are voices in the deep recesses of his mind that tell him to do it, and Grim Reaper leading sheep to slaughter. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes. Well, I found that post interesting because last night when I was talking about this with some other people, we started looking through some of his artwork, and there was one drawing that he did in two different versions of the drawing. And one of the versions was like the original because it was apparently from a video game, and the jacket had the letter B on it. And then, but the other drawing that he had done, he had the word sheep on there. So he'll mention that sheep again kind of caught my attention. But that would be important to know if, and someone was saying again, well, it was really early morning. I stayed up pretty late. And the other discussion group that I was in, they were saying that they believed that they were seeing signs of early schizophrenia in Brian. And of course, that's very subjective. And I think you would need a doctor to determine that. But whenever I see that, hear one person saying it, and I see Drigas here saying something similar, it does get my mind to thinking, well, that's something that needs to be considered.
Yeah, definitely. Arthritic PA, I guess, Pennsylvania. Why hasn't anyone interviewed friends of BL's or Brian's family to get a sense of their character? We don't know yet, but hopefully, again, we'll have more information tonight. We can discuss it. If you want to call in Arthritic, I see that you're on Twitch. I'll go live tonight only on YouTube. So if you want to join the chat, just look for me on YouTube under Trending Rabbit, and we can chat about it tonight. All right, wait, I'm gonna get going. So again, I will hopefully see you tonight.
All right, thanks.
And not a problem. Yeah, you want to say something else?
I was just saying, remind me to talk about Gabby's last Instagram post whenever I see you tonight.
Oh yeah. Okay, hopefully tonight we can talk about it.
Okay, see you then.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. And yeah, Drygast, Arthritic, and I know there are a few others. It's just so hard to keep up while chatting. John, of course, Kai, Paul, thank you all for calling in, for listening in, for voicing your opinion. Hopefully I can see you all again tonight. Hopefully you can join me 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you may be, that's 11 hours from now. If you haven't already, please do give a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notified when I do go live, and we'll see you all later. All right. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe, stay strong, take care of yourself, take care of the family. Family first, nothing else matters. We'll see you all later. Peace and love. I'm out.